Hello everyone! Today I'm out here to see what happens when I try to fly this DJI FPV drone in extremely cold temperatures. So it's currently about 10 below 0 Fahrenheit outside right now, and I know the DJI FPV manual says not to fly the drone, or the batteries don't work, something like that, when it's 14 degrees Fahrenheit or higher. So this is considerably colder than that. And I was curious if the drone will let me fly at all, how long it'll let me fly, if it can handle it, and exactly what's going to happen. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try to power on the drone inside the car, which obviously isn't the smartest idea, but that way it won't be just sitting out there in the cold as long trying to boot up and detect satellites and all that. All right, got the drone powered on. Power on the radio, and got to power up my goggles. All right, put the goggles on, see what the drone is saying so far. All right, it is not complaining at all about the temperature, but that's because it's still nice and warm inside the car here. And it does have 25 satellites, so it should be all good to go. Let's get this guy outside. There we go. And so far, it has not complained about the temperatures being really cold, and it is flying as I would normally expect it to. And it even thinks the battery's got 94%, which is pretty good. I like following this path. It's kind of fun. Try to get a little bit low and chase it around. There's a good breeze coming out of the northwest. I'm not noticing it too much, but I can hear it in the car a little bit. Oh, what was that on the ground? What's that stick there? There's a couple of sticks. Oh, that blew off from that fence there. That's what happened. It was so windy, it blew the little protection off the top of those fences. I don't see anybody out here playing frisbee golf for some reason. It's such a beautiful day. I have to look up what the wind chill is. But with it being 10 below 0 and like 15 mile an hour winds, it is not exactly warm out there today. There's the high school. Don't want to get too close just in case this thing decides to auto land for some reason because it's getting cold. But still, so far so good. At least in manual mode, it's not complaining, it's not doing anything. I was worried it might complain right off the bat and not want to fly very well or limit my speed or something. But so far, no issues with that. We could use a little more snow around here though. There's some see, should I go fly through some of those soccer goals? There we go, nice and low. It is kind of cool. This has a ground sensor and tells me that I'm 28 feet off the ground. Let's see, how fast can I go today? Maximum speed, 67 miles an hour into the wind. All right, I'm gonna have to try turning around, coming back with the wind. So another good way to keep your battery warm is to just give it full throttle. All right, 87, 89, 88, 87, 89. Well, not enough wind to go over 90 miles an hour today. All right, still have plenty of power to do a little power loop. No problem. How about a roll? Whee! That's also just fine. Let's go fly over to this other field here. So far, I think my range hasn't been an issue at all. The cold weather's not affecting that. Never quite flown all the way over across around these trees yet. My signal strength says it's still very good, so no problem there. The sun looks kind of cool there behind the little bit of clouds. And you can see a couple of the smoke coming up off of some of those things off in the distance. Oh, I forgot to put headphones in so I can listen to the drone while it's flying around. I forget that this drone lets me do that. I used to really like that with my first analog FPV drone, but now I've sort of gotten used to it in the past couple of years of not having that. I don't remember that little building being there last winter. Wonder what that's all about. Anyway, we might as well go underneath this goalpost while we're out here, right? As long as I don't hit it, because that would not be good. There it is. What's the spot? Looks like a random manhole in the middle of a football field or soccer field. Huh. I don't know what that is. But there's a whole bunch more soccer goals back this way. So I think my flight time's saying I've been flying for almost 5 minutes now. Yep, 41% battery left. Been flying for 5 minutes in the cold. Not too bad. And it's not limiting my speed in any way that I can see or complaining at all. Huh, that's way better than I expected, especially since the manual says don't use these batteries outside when it's cold. I'm guessing the battery itself is staying warm enough from just flying and pulling power out of the battery. And the fact that I started off with the batteries being nice and warm from in my house, and then I brought it into the car, and the car was fairly warm, and it never sat outside in the cold. It would probably be a different story if I let it sit outside and got really, really cold before I took off. One of the nice things about flying around here when it's this cold out, there's not many people to worry about. Everybody's at home staying nice and warm. My hands are starting to get cold. I don't have the car running, just so that we don't have that background noise while I'm trying to talk. And it's not exactly cold. It's not super cold in here, but it's not very warm either. Whoa, made it under there. Oh, what else was I was going to say that it is fairly cold at 10 below zero, but it's not the coldest I've ever flown. Oh, now it's telling me my battery level is low, but it's not because of the cold specifically. It's saying battery level is low, throttle output reduced, but it says R ... So now my maximum speed, 60 miles an hour? It's cutting me off a little bit. I was going to say, the coldest I've been out flying, I think, was about, what was it, 15, 20 below zero? It was around 20 below zero, I think, was the coldest I've done. And that was with a home-built freestyle FPV drone. And that also had no problems with the cold as long as I took a couple precautions. I kept the batteries warm in the car. They don't fly for nearly as long because the cold affects it for sure. And now it's down to 21% battery life. That's something I need to know more about. When should I land on this battery for the DJI FPV system? Oh, I almost hit those little sticks there. Yeah, I definitely can't power off, or I can't use as much power. If I give it full throttle, it does not lift off nearly as well. Oh, low battery, I should return home promptly. All right, fine. I'll stick it in normal mode to let it land on its own, because For whatever reason, it doesn't like shutting off the propellers and disarming quickly like my other drone does, and I tend to scrape the propellers on the ground if I do it that way. All right, coming in for a landing. Yeah, I know there's a car there. It's me. So I usually like to land really close to my door so I can just whip the door open and get out there, but this won't even, gosh, it really won't let me get close very easily. All right, land. Turn off the propellers, please. Thank you. All right, motor stopped. Battery has 12% life left. And my distance to home is 54 feet. I feel like I'm closer than 54 feet to where I took off, but good enough. All right, time to go grab the drone, save it, rescue it from the cold. All right, well, that was it. I didn't really notice any problems. The DJI FPV drone handled the cold weather just fine, didn't complain. So I think, so I think as long as you keep your battery warm and take off rather quickly and don't let it get too super cold, it will fly just fine. So don't let a little cold weather stop you. You can still get out there and enjoy it and have fun flying your drone. Hello everyone. Today I'm out here to test to see what, yeah, it's cold. My hands are freezing. Is it recording? It's not recording.